So, we all know much about internets, like our iPhone, iPad, Switch, all the video game stuff that we met. We always know that how in school we used to say, "Oh, we're gonna pause the phone because we're busy and stuff," and yeah, we are doing. But for people who are saying about how put your phones away because shit going to happen, and how the phones are very bad because it causes us internet addictions and stuff, are not true. Internet addiction is the other word that you're addicted to something. And no, internet addiction is supposed to be like a word for drugs. Addiction is a word for drugs. It's not because of phones that has drugs or something. But no, internets are not bad. Internets always need some help and stuff if you having causing troubles or something. We and yeah, for as we all know, we for next gen, this movie was the worst I ever seen in my entire life. And yes, one, it was a rip-off version of Big Hero 6. Two, this this movie was released one day when it was Vichi's birthday. Second of all, and last of all, this movie was very to offensive to celebrities, internets, and all kinds of stuff. And yes, sure, we've seen tons of episodes like the series, like Blazing Team. Wilson, however, was very smart at internet, but when he thinks he's blaming himself and the internet, the master says not to blame himself because they need a person who's very good at internet. They need a person who's very good at technology and stuff. But yes, internet. This is not because he was not a internet addiction. He was a smart. He's good at internet stuff, and he likes to make stuff to be happy. But it's not the case how this character is having internet addiction or something for some reasons at all. And the Bilby in the Bluey episode, I didn't like this episode because yeah, I get to know how they put the electronics away, but but for me, I was like, I put my electronics away when I want to talk to my parents or stuff. I listen to music when I'm at the car or when I want to take the dogs for a walk. That's true. But this episode's not to make this supposed to be like put the phones away because it causes internet addiction. Mobile games are not an internet addiction at all, including Pokemon Go. Music on your phone is not internet addiction. You wanted to hear music in your favorite artists because you like to hear it. Do you know what else is internet addiction? NFTs. So we all know much about it because we saw some new series about some monkeys and shit, and all the stuff that causes to is not okay. Hacking is not okay. People using hack stuff because it causes trouble and shit going on. That's internet addiction. And people that are texting that's not our ages, it's kind of bad. And I don't want to show it because YouTube like age restricted me for some goddamn reason. And I'm sorry for the swearing because I'm having raging stuff because of the movie. And now, the 1 year, today was the 5 years how VG passed away. And now, tomorrow was going to be his birthday. And right now, I started pissing off Netflix because, right now, they're the ones who try to make offensive stuff because, the divorce and shit, get a job and then. Rest in peace to him. You're the best, by the way, and I can't believe Netflix just released until one day until Beachy's birthday. Now, here's an example. Greenwood was being rude to Mai, and now she changed herself to be happy. Do you know why I don't like this character? She looks like a version of Lady Gaga, even though it's supposed to be a ripoff of the celebrities and offensive. Ani, however, was been appeared for like 5 fucking minutes. She talked the first line until the ending. She talks like second line, 2 lines she did. And this is bullshit because I don't make characters that put second lines for like 5 minutes and shit or 20 minutes. She's just a character who just wants to help with his friend Mai. Her mom, however, she didn't do nothing until she beat the crap out of these robots and stuff. Even though because she divorced his ex-husband, she needs to protect his own daughter. And she needs to tell these schools to F off and flip them or something else. What do moms do? My mom protects me. My mom do everything. But this character over there, she didn't do nothing. She was like very internet addiction and shit. And like I said, internet's not bad. But when we see these characters that are having obsessed and stuff, we don't see nothing. Sure, this character is just the worst mom ever. And when I first saw it, I was like, damn, this character's not very nice, not being taking care of his own daughter because she's obsessed with the internet. And third of all, Momo, the dog, I thought it was Kevin Hart. But when I saw it on Wikipedia and my voice played, he was voiced by Michael Pena. The Michael Pena he's an actor who appeared in the Tom and Jerry movie and the Ant-Man, who played as Ant-Man's best friend. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Michael Pena? Don't be offensive with comedy people, even though you're a comedy person. I mean, I want to be a comedy, but I am now. But when we see the characters that are like mocking celebrities like Kevin Hart, like what the hell did Kevin Hart do to you? Even though they didn't do nothing. That's how the movie was trying to show us offensive and how internet was going bad. We see the dog swear because that's how Kevin Hart swears in the comedies or in the movies that we saw. Except from the Secret Life of Pets. I kind of like Kevin Hart who played as Snowball. But right now, Maisu's father, Matthew, he didn't do nothing. He's like, fuck off and stuff. When he was argue with his ex-wife. This movie shouldn't do like a reference from Amazing World of Gumball. You know, Richard's biological father, saying goodbye and shit. Yeah, that one. That episode. But this scene, we don't see the part of it. It's just like 5-10 minutes and shit going on. Until May just explained how he missed his own father. But now we want to learn much about it, and no, we didn't. But we need to see. Do you know what they need? They should fix it because to see how my Matthew loves his own daughter and he likes his own family. But separating happens. Alright? My parents were separated, so that's fine with me. But children think to blame themselves because of how arguing and shit, that causes children's danger. Tell them, oh, we're separated and shit. But Matthew, what the fuck are you doing? And don't forget this character, Tanner Rice. What the fuck? You've been in 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, he just died. He just died because his own friend killed him. He should have like, oh, I will help you, and I will become your uncle figure. And this one, but he didn't do nothing. He was fucking around and shit. And all the scenes, like the villain characters and him, he's like a rip-off version of. They were trying to be offensive against Steve Jobs, even though He didn't do nothing. And don't even get started of Maisu. She says about her past, and now she says about her parents. But now, after she figured out, yeah, that's how she feels when her friend died, 77. She feels like just like the way how she's feeling upset about his dad died, and shit going on. Like, yeah, you have to forget your past, Maisun, because that's what you are. Cause yes, this is what caused people's having. But when we saw in the ending, she feels healthy and she feels happy when, well, she tries to figure out the 77's memories from the past. She was just tries to kill it. Do you know what's better? Over the Moon. Over the Moon was the best movie ever. And that's how Never tried to apologize for this since after 2020 is going on. Even though this movie, Over the Moon, was better than Next Gen. Because Next Gen, it tries to making a parody version of Big Hero 6, making it offensive to stuff. But this movie, however, it didn't show offensive or stuff going on. It was so beautiful in this movie of Over the Moon was such a good movie. Sure, there's a creator who was who's the same person who made from Disney, the company who made the DreamWorks and stuff. So yeah, that's how the movie was. And how I said about my thoughts about it, I kind of absolutely love it, this movie. This is better than Next Gen. I'm a little fan of movies that shows Chinese stuff. Like we saw Kung Fu Panda, I think Big Hero 6 too, and all of it. All Japanese movies, including the spicy thing. Except for Next Gen, because Next Gen just shows a rip-off version of Big Hero 6. But now, for my thoughts about it, I just don't like Next Gen. But Over the Moon was such a good movie. And that's all I had to say, my thoughts. So, that's my TED Talk of my thoughts about Next Gen. And yes, how the movie was underrated. This movie was underrated. This movie was the worst. And all the stuff we've seen. Sure, I've seen how people reviewed the movie, how it's the worst, and how it has the meme stuff has it. But when we saw it, it was like, oh, they're making a parody version of Big Hero 6, and they're trying to be offensive and thinking how internet causing bad and stuff, even though it's not true. Consider all the internets that I said about were true, but the internets that we have, like iPhone stuff, it didn't cost nothing. Only cost people when the people are doing some evil shit going on. But that's the point. And now I'm feeling calming down right now because how I rage my thoughts about Next Gen. So I know. Today is the 5th anniversary of Next Gen. But the reason why I'm telling my thoughts about Next Gen and how I explained it, how Next Gen was the worst movie or underrated, it's because simple. The movie was worse because it's a parody version of Big Hero 6. That's the point. I said it again. I said it one more time. But that's all that's all my thoughts about Next Gen, and that's here, the TED Talk stuff. So, there you have it, everyone. Thanks for watching for my Hybrid reviews. And yes, I'm feeling calmed down, don't worry. I just get mad when these movies that I don't like. But that's all I have to say, everyone. Peace.